Meal planning is number one on my list always because it has changed my life. I used to make impulsive decisions when going to the grocery store, and those really add up. If you go to the grocery store and do not have a plan, you're likely going to buy pasta with no sauce, peanut butter with no jelly, and it's just not going to make sense when you get home. And then you're going to have to supplement those back at the grocery store. And so the way I'm grocery shopping now and thinking about meal planning is not elaborate. It's not a big to do. It's mostly I see what I have on hand. Say I have the pasta. Okay, I'm going to get some cannellini beans and some frozen vegetables and some sauce. And I know that that's a meal I've planned for Monday night. And that's the loose planning that I'm doing. I'm filling in the gaps, creating a grocery shopping list. And then when I go to the store, I'm going to stick to that list and not get distracted by all of the beautiful marketing and cool new vegan products on the market and just stay disciplined.
So do you and your husband sit down together on Sunday night and decide what you're going to eat for the week, or how does it go for you, this planning?
There are things that I know that we always should have on hand to make quick meals. So I have a bucket of pasta. I have so much pasta on hand that I can throw in a soup to make it heartier or to make different types of pasta dishes. And I keep cans of beans, frozen produce, bricks of tofu. You can keep those in the freezer. I always have onions and garlic, which last a long time on the counter. Definitely potatoes last a long time, oats for breakfast. And these are things that you can invest in once per month, maybe even go to a grocery store that's a little bit further from your home, but also much cheaper, and get all of your pantry staples. I like to keep my pantry stocked so that when I come home from a business trip and I haven't had time to go to the grocery store, I can still whip something up. And if I didn't do my meal planning as diligently as I usually do, I can easily bring together a meal that is going to be satisfying and healthy-ish.
A lot of people will come home and they'll say, I'm just so tired after a long day at work. And so it's just easier for me to lift up the phone and I guess call DoorDash and order or stop at McDonald's on the way home. What do you say to those folks? I'm sure you have a lot of empathy for them. How do you convince them to just take that one extra step and start cooking at home?
That's the importance of meal planning. And I used to be in a very similar position. I had 1.5 hours commute each way. And if I didn't have a plan in place, it's so easy to stop at Chipotle and get $7 veggie burrito. And that adds up. It's not sustainable for me. And it's also not what I want to be eating on a daily basis. And you make those decisions over and over again, and you don't even realize how much it costs until you're doing a line by line of your bank account or credit card statements. And for those people, yes, I do feel for you, but if you can just spend 5 minutes putting that plan together and thinking, I have a can of vegetarian refried beans, I have tortillas, I have some salsa in a jar, I meal prepped some quinoa for 5 minutes in the pressure cooker. All right, I have everything I need to throw together a burrito as soon as I get home. It's going to come together in 5 minutes. If you didn't meal prep your quinoa, you can still use all of those same things. Add in a spoonful of can of corn. You could really use so much of what can be stored in your refrigerator and pantry already.
For 90-second rice.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And you can either freeze your own rice or quinoa. So if you are making it, but you can also go to Trader Joe's and buy rice that's frozen if you can't be bothered.
That's great. That actually ends up being less time, if we really think about it, than finding a parking space and going into Chipotle or even sitting sometimes in line outside a fast food place in your car. So thank you. That's great.